Yeah,
What's
Uncle
going
Stu. Oh,
on?
go ahead.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead,
good.
sports debate. You know, I got look, Tat. He don't pump me so much. I gotta switch the screen and just be a part of it.
Oh man.
I'll be
Put
down
him up
here
there,
for a
right?
while.
Y'all put him
Yeah,
up there.
let him get the star spot. Yeah.
Hey, y'all been cooking, man. Y'all been saying a lot of things I be talking about sometimes towards the end of my stream. My only thing, remember I said in the comments that I disagree with some. What I was disagreeing with was Spitting Fire had said something along the lines of as you go along and as your channel starts generating money, that's you take that money and you reinvest.
Okay.
And my pushback was no, you invest in your channel from the get-go. You start off with a high quality camera, 4K. You start off with understanding how to use OBS and all the streaming services. You start off trying to find the best quality mic for whatever you do, and you don't want to. Again, not everybody's gonna have the luxury of having a viral moment and just going viral and just going crazy in the algorithm. And so, until that viral moment hits, hopefully it does hit for everybody, where you can just have that type of success. But if it doesn't, you have to be mindful of all the things that help trigger your channel and the algorithm. And I only got this stuff when I went to I did an online seminar with Jake Paul. I talked to other bigger YouTubers like
Wow.
Perky, right? And they talked about how recording in 1080p or 4K. They talk about always using your face, using actual video on YouTube, because this is not Spotify or Stitcher. It's not an audio platform. Some people, you just see them with a logo on the screen talking. So I just try to take little tidbits information and on how to grow your channel and get better in the algorithm from other people, learning, get you set up. So I say invest right out the gate. Don't wait, right? If you have additional revenue, invest in it, learn how to market your channel. I was blessed with having another business outside of YouTube. So I had an understanding of SEO and how to market a little bit. So I just took that same information and flipped it into YouTube, and I've had some success, even though it could be better, but I've had some success marketed it that way. So I tell people invest right out the get-go. Don't wait. Start right out the gate with the best that you can afford.
You know, it's funny that you say that because you never understood why in the world the monitors that some of these guys had was like X wide. You know, it's like
Yeah.
they can't see or they
Yeah.
just, and it's like, oh, I get it now. You
Yeah.
know, but it's not something I would have bought earlier because it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense to buy a whole lot of stuff and then you don't know what the heck you're doing with it.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely see where certain equipment now I do have to get. There's certain, you know, Perry Unlikely. He's my one of my mastermind people.
Mm-hmm.
I went and spent $300 on Final Cut Pro, and I'm like, Barry, I ain't used this thing in 3 months, and I got it 3 months ago. And he was like, that's it, Uncle Stu. You want to get off of our movie? I don't want to see another, video with iMovie cuts in it. You need it. And so guess what I had to do last 2 days? Sitting up there going, okay, now I got to move this to do the iMovie here. Okay, now I got to call them tomorrow. What was them plugins you told me to get? But the for me the challenge and the love, when you talk about edits, that's fun. And
Yeah.
once I start really learning what the heck I'm doing, it's like, oh yeah, okay, I can do this, okay, this, and then it's like, oh, J cut, L cut, okay, how do you do this? Where I would try to do a 25-minute video because I can talk for 25 minutes, like, oh no, I gotta learn to take all this information, put it in a 5-minute clip, make it entertaining, and then ship it out.
That's the thing. It's like you have to identify the product that you may have been exposed to that works best for your use case with that skill set or that learning curve and that timing that you want to get it up and out in front of you. Like, I'm going to give you my opinion about your channel at this stage. This time next year, I won't be watching many of your interviews. Here's why. Your voice, the audio, person that you may have, I might want to glance at them, look at it for a few minutes. But for the most part, you are going to be in my catalog of listening to your content, not necessarily watching. They will listen because you've already established something in them. But what's being said, that's where the value is for the individuals.
I think what he said right there too, man, that just tells you got multiple streams of income that you could implement your YouTube channel into, especially if you just flip the audio and put it on Stitcher, you put it
No
on
doubt.
Spotify, and you turned
No
it into
doubt.
audio podcast. What I can do is republish them on other sites and still get the same monetization in other places.
Right.
So I think that's just an option there. I'm about to go to Spotify myself. I'm started with Stitcher, Anchor, all of these. Just take the same audio and you can now get
Same
monetized other
thing.
places. So he is right there. Like I said, I would
Repurpose it.
definitely
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Because
Not-
YouTube is
Yeah.
dying. Like Jake Paul said it. He says, unfortunately, YouTube is a dying platform. And while a lot of people are new to it and just now getting established here, it is slowly dying. And so it now may be the time for us to kind of get ahead of the curve and say, well, okay, where else can we start monetizing our content outside of YouTube? Because when it does go downhill, are you going to be set up in other places so you can continue going instead of just dying with YouTube?
Make
Well,
perfect sense.
let me ask Tack a question. So you were talking about instead of watching, listening. I when you said that, it made me think about something that I do unconsciously, and there's some YouTube channels where I could just, like you said, sit the phone down. I could
Yep.
just hear it, and I know exactly what I'm digesting. But then there's
Absolutely.
other content where I hear it, but then I got to pick up my phone and then I got to take a look and be like, hold on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
and that's where,
Yeah.
and that's why, with my content, that's why I said I really have to really get them with the visual as well, not just what I'm saying, not try to convince them with the words, but I have to try to do really creative visual things to
So
get people to pick
FYS,
up the phone and look.
FYF, what is your content mainly? Like, what are you like? If I look at your channel,
Yeah.
am I getting the sound of what you're saying, and then I need to embrace the visual representation, or what's going on with your channel?
Sometimes. So I have a really crazy mixture of different types of content. So
Okay.
I have my live stream, obviously, where those things with people with their own sports takes can go anywhere. It's a sports debate channel. The creative thing that we do is we have our head-to-head debates. If two people have a contentious point that they want to debate, we just let them two get up there, and we'll let the subscriber base put money in the Cash App, and the winner gets the Cash App, whatever got
Gotcha.
donated within that time. So
Got you. That's cool.
kind of makes it creative
That's
there.
cool.
Secondly, I have my videos where I talk about really like contentious talking points. I'm still learning. Like I'm learning a lot right now.
There's so many ways that you can get closer to, or at least understanding the publishing side of it, having your own website, understanding how you can get people to go there, drive the traffic, connect the dots from the different platforms, drive the traffic, and have people to execute on a call to action at your website where you can pretty much control the aesthetics and different things like that. I don't care what platform you use, you still should have your own website, but other people see it differently, which is fine, right? Which is fine. But I'm just saying there's so many opportunities that just simply doesn't cost as much, and the cost, if any, gets reduced tremendously based on how informed you are. That's right.
It's bigger than just YouTube. We can all argue and have our different opinions on different
Yep.
things, but the marketing side of it needs to be the same. We all need that website. We all need to have those outside things outside of YouTube that bring, like what you said with the embedded videos. How can you drive everybody back to YouTube so you can get, I think Uncle Stu said something earlier about, I think Spitting Fire said something that you always have to be changing your content. I don't believe you always have to change your content. I think you have to find more ways to bring in new viewership, right? That's it. Just bring more eyes in. You can say the same thing 20 million times over. Just bring in more eyes because you got the whole world as your consumer base. It's not too many businesses that you have. I have a business right now where you could say the entire world is your consumer base. YouTube, you got the whole world. How can you get more eyes to your channel? And using the Google algorithm, not just the YouTube algorithm, will help you do that if you can start understanding SEO, backlinks, and all those things. If you start understanding that, that's when you really start changing the game. But you got to realize, one thing I learned too, because I started this in 2020, kind of grew kind of faster than normally, but you got to understand that the long grind is going to be the better, like it's going to have a better impact on your channel with regards to the types of viewers you have. The short grind, going viral, those people are going to be there in that moment, but you lose those subscribers. You lose their attention span a lot faster. They're not going to stick around for the long term. So I say the long grind is much more valuable to your channel than the short grind. Because right now, just looking at your channel, like taking the time to set your background up, keep it orderly, turn your camera on, make sure people coming on, turn their camera on, right? As a lot of people don't pay that much attention to detail, and your CPM, your ad revenue is going to be higher than most people just because you paying attention to the small details. So go for the long money. The super chats, that's the short money. Just saying, the trick for me was because I started to notice the same thing. A lot of people in this sports talk, they want it to be live. They want you to be live. They want to be able to type in immediately their thoughts on whatever you say. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pre-record longer breakdowns, load the footage in, do the NBA film study videos. It might go on for 1-2 hours, and then I'm going to record it. I'm going to edit it up, and then I'm going to drop it as a live premiere. The live premiere gives the people, it takes care of that little itch that they have to want for the video to be live. I'm on the screen talking. I'm even in the live chat responding to people's messages. Right. But this premiered, they're live watching it right there with me. They're responding to what I'm saying. I'm responding back, but you don't always have to be live. And then you can chop that video up into smaller segments and turn it into mini videos. So you can turn that video into multiple videos, and you title it different to bring in more viewership, more eyes, turn it into stories, turn it into all types of things, community posts to bring in more viewership. So yeah, there's a lot of ways you can if you feel like you have a base that just loves lives, I would say consider live premieres.
My lives, I don't have a lot of expectation from them because I don't feel like I really control the lives, right? It's like I'm getting a response or not. And I just really start doing lives, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Most of I have maybe 10,000 subscribers, and 98% of that is from me putting videos out. It's not from me doing lives. I just recently started getting into the live thing because I know with the video production, I'm more intentional. It's me sending that message. And if it fails to hit, then that's just what it is.
I think certain things is live worthy, but other stuff is not live worthy. I couldn't see getting on a live and say, okay, I'm going to teach y'all how to manage time. And we're just going to, now I feel like I'm in a classroom, and it's like, okay, that's a one-shot deal, leave it, versus, okay, let me put this video together about how to manage time, because I can, like you said, control the message, do the motivation, give you the visual, give you some, some call to action, and it's there forever. Yeah. Where if I do a live, it's a one-shot deal. Yep. If I, what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, that's true.
If I do a live now and I say, okay, I'm gonna speak about Joe Biden. Okay, now you get my whole emotional response, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing to it where there's no teaching, there's no build-up, there's no real understanding. Well, why does he say this?
He's all facts right there. That's some of the best information you get. Slice it up, and I think the videos that you produce and edit over the long term always do better than the live streams. The live streams in that one night, like I did a live stream last night, 5,000 views. Boom. I'm like, wow. But you know what's gonna happen? The watchability, that's just gonna go down over time. So it might get up to maybe 10K views, but it's never gonna get up to 30 and 40K. As opposed to some of my shorter videos that are edited and produced. Over time, they might be able to get up to 30, 40K because they're more watchable. Like he said, you can get your thought out better. You have more intent with them. They're not all over the place.
They become evergreen.
Yeah. And he's right about that too. And that's why when I first started, the first 6-7 months, I said, I'm not going to do a live. I need to get as much content out as possible that's edited and produced at least the way I want it, so people can understand what this channel is about. And so when they tune into F.Y.F Sports, they're not expecting me to be live all the time. I need my lives to be a special event. So when I went live last night, if you watched the first 10 minutes of it, I did something crazy at the beginning. Dressed up like a Power Ranger, act like I'm fighting Laker fans. Look, I got the helmet. I got the helmet right here. I had the whole Power Ranger suit on. So what I did was, you could get creative with StreamYard. What I did was I ran my intro. I pre-recorded a video, act
Right.
like I'm talking about the topic, and in the video that I pre-recorded, I had an edit in there acting like I got called to go fight some Laker fans. I'm doing all crazy stuff, and people thinking, it's part of the product. Like, you can do much more with the production. I've got the chat going crazy and everything.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, you can get creative with all this, but you can be much more creative and show your personality when you edit and put time into these videos, as opposed to just jumping on that live. And now the only time people see you is when you're going live. They only want to see your live content. They don't care about, I want people to care about the pre-recorded content, because that's where I can really push the real messages.